Hello, and welcome back to Creative View Podcast. I'm Catherine Kirby, and I'd like to welcome you to a special edition. I apologize to the crocheters because it's all knitting, and this is in honor of a lady that comes into the shop all the time called Judith Ciancio. She's a transplant from New York. She's a retired nurse. She has a heart like way big. And I wanted to do a Valentine's Day special for her, but I had trouble with the uploading and everything. So I'm just going to start over. So welcome to the Creative View Podcast. It's a kind of a dreary day out there. I think we're going to get more snow. We've been getting a lot of snow. And I hope it holds off our house. They now removed the 17 noisy fans. We can walk around a little bit. The plastic tent in our kitchen is gone. And before I get started on Judith's things, I would like to show you this beautiful garment here. This is from the Alpaca Yarn Company, which is a York, Pennsylvania company. And this is one of their own designs. Isn't it gorgeous? And the owner of the company, Beth, called me about something. And while we were talking, I said, I really feel bad. I forgot to thank you for the vest you gave me. And she said, what vest? And I said, the beautiful peachy. And she goes, you have that? And I said, yeah, I wanted to thank you for it. She goes, well, I need that back. So I feel bad that she was looking for it all that time, that it wasn't meant for me. But while it's here, I thought I would show you. It's a $6 pattern, and it is made with a hanks braided together of Kindred Spirits. And it comes in multiple colors. Maraquita is the hand-painted multicolor, and then the halo is the baby alpaca, Surrey alpaca and nylon. A lot of people think it's mohair, but it's not. So this is one of the color options. Of course, that's the model. And then this is the one that I would like to make. But aren't they pretty? And a lot of times those lace knits deceive us because we think they're going to be complicated. They're going to take a lot of time. And really, they're not. So, on with the show. It's funny. One of the episodes I said, I've always wanted to say crack on. And I said crack away. So, I tend to get things mixed up. Oh, wow. Judith made this beautiful begonia swirl shawl. This gal is not afraid of color. She likes a big, roomy shawl. And she wears her shawls a lot. She loves to wrap herself up in them. And I had shown this before, but because of doing a tribute to her, oh, doesn't it go pretty? But it clashes with the beach in the background. This was done out of Cascade Sunseeker. It does have little silver sparkles in the yarn. And it's an all year round. An all year round yarn. I don't know why, but it seems like a lot of customers shy away from cotton. They have preconceived ideas or things from the past that they think it's going to shrink or be rigid or hard, but it's really not. This is the Pebble Beach shawl by Helen Stewart. And this is the large size. This is done with blue heron rayon metallic, which is out of Easton, Maryland. The owner is a real sweet guy. He's been doing this since he was young. He jumped into the hand painting and indie dyeing business like really young. If you've never done a Helen Stewart pattern, you should do one. She is very detailed. Every line, she'll tell you how many stitches you should have. And one of the things that I really love is that she never says repeat row 2 or repeat row 4. I don't like that. I don't know about you, but so here's a beautiful, the rayon metallic yarns also have sparkles, either gold or silver. So that is her beautiful Pebble Beach shawl. She has so many here that I'm hoping not to get them mixed up and to do the best that I can. This is another Cascade, but instead of Sunseeker, it's Avalon Multi. The difference is it's a worsted weight yarn. I can tell this was done on a bigger needle because it's nice. And you know, we get those nice floppy knits that are just drapey and fun. And this one, I think she said is a simple V shape. I'm not exactly sure about that. She did send me, after she dropped all these off, she did send me a bunch of messages and pictures, so I know that she was really working on this and wanted to get the right names out there. She did send me this sweet thing that creative people don't have a mess. They have ideas laying around everywhere. Well, that is certainly me. She also sent me an old-fashioned typewriter that says, "Dear Diamonds, we all know who is really a girl's best friend. Yours sincerely, Yarn." So let's see what she sent me here. This one is, I'm sorry, the chevron shawl. And it says, "A great shawl for beginner. It's by Just One More Row." And to show you that again, there it is. I'm not sure if Judith added the binding or if it was like that, because with the pattern, you can't really tell. I've shown things at the shop before with Alumco, which is like a shiny. Now this would be a nice shawl for a beginner. So pretty. All those semi-tonal colors. This one might have been the Simple V scarf. But again, a nice big roomy shawl. She did two of them called Katika, K-A-T-I-K-A, Katika. And again, these are nice and drapey. There's the edging. Oh, I wonder if I sold a couple, if she would know. Years ago, my first husband, we were pulling away from his parents' place, and his dad liked to raise vegetables. And right by the driveway was a tomato plant with a big tomato growing on it. And my husband actually thought that he could take that tomato and his father wouldn't know. Well, you know, when you grow something and you're watching it grow every day, you know. Years ago when I would have lily buds in the front yard, I'd be watching them every day, waiting to see what it popped out, what it became, what color it was. And my little granddaughter, Michaela, who was yay high, would come along and just snap them off. Yeah, I knew. Okay, I think I need to, oh, here's another one done with the Blue Heron Rand Metallic. This kind of reminded me of the Brickless Shawl by Martina Bem, but it's not. See the beautiful colors? And I am not exactly sure about this one, but just to even show you the yarn and the beautiful colors is really nice. I just need to get up real quick and grab some of her things. So, what's been going on with you and your week? It is Monday here, and a brand new week, and a fresh new start, and I was kind of bummed out by Valentine's Day because I didn't really expect anything big, and I usually take the pressure off my husband. But at the end of Valentine's Day, we were out at my parents' house, and my dad, because my mom hasn't been doing the best, he's been actually going down the street and getting groceries at Food Lion and everything. And he said, look at the beautiful roses I bought for my wife. And I didn't expect roses, but at the end of the night, there's 3 words I was waiting for. Happy Valentine's Day never came. So, you know, of course, as we women, we drag this over to the next day. And at the end of the night, I said, you know, yesterday I was just looking for those 3 words. And he said, what 3 words? And I said, yeah, happy Valentine's. Well, I thought I didn't need to do anything. I'm like, just the 3 words. And I felt bad that I even brought it up. You know, there's a phrase in the Bible, a foolish woman tears down her own house. And the following day, we don't have our laundry room is torn apart, and he said to me, oh, I washed all your underwear for you. Now that's true love. Hand washing a lady's undergarments in the sink, that's true love. He's a keeper. He is a keeper. I think it's our expectations that get us into trouble every single time. And you know, we tell a husband, oh, it's okay, you don't need, and then when he doesn't, then we're crushed. And I remember reading one time at Christmas that this woman told her husband, you don't have to get me anything. And he didn't. And then all Christmas Day, she's crying. And one of his friends or relatives said, what? You listen to her? You don't listen to a lady when she says she doesn't want anything. But ladies, we have to speak our mind and stick behind it. This is another rayon metallic shawl. Beautiful blues and grays. And if any of you were keyed into the episode where I showed what we call at the shop the watermelon shawl done in Alumco yarn, this is the same shawl. And yet when you look at it in the Katia pattern book, it looks like this plain little, it's brown, it's on a guy. Doesn't look at all as pretty as this. This is another Katika shawl. Judith wasn't sure of the yarn. This is a side-to-side shawl, and it is a free Ravelry pattern by the designer Julia Nandorfy, Nandorfy, Nandorfy. This yarn I don't think is Alumco, but it looks a little bit similar. And I think this is Duet with 2 T's by Hild, H-I-L-D-E, Hildgarn. And Judith told me this pattern was in German, and she wanted to do it so desperately that she got someone to translate it for her. It's a nice crescent shawl. Oh. And let's see what else. This one, look at that beautiful border. Isn't that lovely? Peekaboo. Isn't it crazy how kids love to play peekaboo over and over and over? I'm not sure about the name of this one. Oh, I know. This is a free Cascade pattern called Miami Beach. That's right. I pulled it out of my hat. Some of you may not know that I like to collect books on knitting and yarn And this book is really sweet. It's called Red, Blue, and Yellow Yarn, A Tale of Forgiveness by Miriam Kosman. And it is about Bubby, the grandma, comes to visit. And she's going to stay for the whole week. And she's going to sleep in Donnie's room while she's there. So there's a little bit of adjustment here. And he had to wash his hands with soap and water before every meal. And she would inspect them. And he had to eat with a napkin. And when he walked into his bedroom, there on his bed was all of these balls of yarn. What do you think a little boy is going to resist? Balls. Doesn't matter what they're made out of. And so he has a great time juggling, throwing, hitting the ceiling, and then there are voices on the stairs, and oh no, instant regret. Maybe would like to do it again, might be worth it, but no fun getting caught. Donnie, Mom gasps, what have you done? Had fun. I expect you to wind up every one of these balls and don't come downstairs until you do. Years ago, I heard a mom speaking. She had 2 little children, and she walked into the room, and the little guy had opened one of these beanbag chairs and had all those little tiny styrofoam balls all over the room. And she said, and you pick every one of these up, right? And after they got it all cleaned up, he did it again. There he's thinking he's going to become an old man. And he starts crying. And then she walks in and says, oh, Donnie, come on, I'll help you. That's always best with little kids. Pitch in and help them. And so together they wind. She takes one end, he takes the other. And she tells a story about when she was little and her grandmother came to visit, and they were all looking forward to her grandmother's special nut cake. And as you can see, she broke the bowl with the, I guess, nut cake in it, and she was told she had to pick all of it up. Just kind of a repeat story, a deja vu. Really sweet book. And then her grandmother told her that when she was a little girl, and you can imagine, and her grandmother came to visit, that's what happened with the feather pillow. It's a really cute book. I especially love children's books. So they walked into the kitchen, and his mother says, are you finished already? Bubby helped me, Donnie said, smiling as he thought of the generations of children who make mistakes and the loving grandmothers who forgive them. Yes, said Bubby. A little help from a grandmother goes a long way. And that is sweet. I think it may be out of print, but I think I found it on Amazon. Okay. Judith did a shawl called Strawberry Pie. And she did this one without the little strawberries. So it has multiple sections. And the one that has the strawberries, I'm not seeing on my pile. So I may need to do another. Oh, here it is, right on my lap. So there's the one with the little strawberries or little flowers. Well, strawberries do get little flowers on them. You know, one time I tried to grow strawberries in our backyard. It didn't get a lot of sun, and the ground was clay and not very good, but I noticed that I could get a couple plants to grow. So I dug up a garden and I planted my strawberries, and we had a man to come in to plow up the rest, and I think he was a little intoxicated, and he went right through all my strawberry plants and ruined them. Yeah, I didn't have very much good luck with gardens. I I think I told you the story of the time I planted cucumbers, and I kept watching them grow and watching them grow, and one day my father-in-law came over and bent down closely and a little closer and a little closer, and he said, "They're not cucumbers." So there went all my dreams of cucumbers and making pickles the way my grandmother used to make pickles. Just all went out the window. Judith also likes to do shrugs. Oh, this is a big infinity Mobius scarf that she did in garter stitch. Again, I'm not sure of the name of some of her things. If you've never made a shrug, it's just like a big rectangle, and then you seam it. So this is one of her shrugs done in stockinette stitch with a border. It is amazing when you have something around your shoulders and all, how warm you are. And this is another shrug. There's the back. And she decided to design a little tam or a slouch hat to go with that. Was that clever? Judith, you are amazing. Judith is also an incredible weaver. And here is a shrug with the same pattern. Hey, if you find something good, keep doing it, right? And this is another shrug done in this pattern. And then here is a cable that she calls it a capelet, the way she wears it. And it has little cables down the side, and it is called, well, it's not called the purple capelet, but I may have to catch up with you next show about the name of this. It really is cute, and I really like the pattern, and I did have my phone right here that I think had the name of it. Now I've lost my phone. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe we can get it here. Isn't it great how all of this information is at your fingertips? It's so wonderful. Just think if we had to look all these things up and look all these patterns up. Wow, it would be something if you had to do all of that. Well, I'm not sure, but I will let you know about that. And then just a few other things. This is like, I think the other one that had, nope, this is, and I'm not sure, but it's just, even if you don't know the name, it's just wonderful to look at the things that somebody has invested a lot of their time. This was a yarn that used to be out called Literal, and that was the Literal shawl. I think that was back when shawls were just becoming big, and they'd say, you can make this with one skein. And has these little like white tags that are fun, but they can also get caught up in your needles. And so I think that was the Judith Ciancio show, which I wanted to be for Valentine's Day, to show love and spread love. And I'm sorry to the crocheters that we didn't have crocheting content, but that's up ahead later. And even though Valentine's Day is over, happy Valentine's to all of you. Spread some love, spread some cheer, and most of all, shine, baby, shine. Have a great day.